There we go. We're live. Woohoo! So, we got it up on there. Whoa, we're almost to 400 followers on here. I didn't even know. That's so cool. Okay. So this is... My fingers are too tired of building Legos, like the pushing on them. So we're not building any more Legos. We are going to do some Lego... Not Lego. We can buy Legos. That doesn't require our fingers. My thumb really does hurt. Okay, we're just going to start writing. It'll be kind of nice to have some inspirational music going. Don't really need these anymore. Book 1. So what we do need is this. So one nice thing about writing out the story that I just thought of above just telling the story is we can I like move these over? Is that you all can kind of see the story and what's happening. And she's so bright, it's white. Can you like change it? But it's also not that bad. It's kind of like paper. Very interesting. Hello, Afterburn! Okay, that's just a glitch. We are doing some great things today. We're going to be writing a story. Instead of building Legos because my fingers hurt, we're writing, typing. So, this was a story I talked about a while ago. Maybe, oops. Don't need that either. Could do, just trying to make it so you can all see the whole thing. Anyways, let's start writing. I am Jade, son of Krem. Probably should put a comma there. Jade, son of Krem. This is my first night in Blunt Creek. I have traveled far and long. I have traveled far and long and far, searching for my mother, who was taken years, I'll say months, searching for my mother, who was taken by the, who is it? Who was taken by the, what were their names? Trying to think. So there were the wizards. So we have our right here, book 1. Don't need that folder information. So we have background stuff, but they're like the Zentai wizards. So I think we'll just say taken by the Zentai There we go. It was taken by the... Searching for my mother, who was taken by the Zentai wizards months ago. And currently I'm like, my hands are cold, so I'm typing slower than I normally do. But I also am just typically kind of a slow typer. And that's one reason, that is one reason I'm trying to type and do this, is because I want to get better and faster at typing. Something that could be kind of fun is you could see some overhead of me typing. Could be cool. Well, hello, killer. Welcome to today's stream, where we're just taking it nice and easy and just telling a story. Writing a story is what we're doing. So I'm trying to write this first person like it's a journal. So each chapter is like a different journal entry, and that you're following him as, so he's basically recapping the events that have happened but you're hearing it first person. So it's like an interesting style of doing it. So I wanted to try it, see how it goes, see how I like this, and welcome Expecting Storms as well. We could actually probably have chat pulled up on there pretty... Oh, never mind. Yeah. That works. Ooh, this is perfect. So there is... So there's a wizard named Devin, or... Yeah, Devin, the good wizard, I don't know. Devin the wizard, we'll just go with that. That I met, he should say, because I'm trying to think of how to introduce the story. I'm just going to say the wizard. So the great wizard Devin that I met the great wizard Devin today. I met the great wizard Devin today. So I feel like it's going to be really hard for me to go through and like explain what I'm thinking and then type it. So it's interesting. But it's fun to get your creative juices flowing. So essentially, I'm trying to figure out how Jade starts writing his journal and how it would make sense. So it says, I met the great wizard Devin today. He is... Okay, I think I type a little slower if I'm speaking it out loud. Going... He has I need a different word for great. Or I could just take out the great here. I knew it. I had 2 R's, but it wasn't correcting me. So I was like, wait, did I? See, he feels. I met the wizard Devin today. What Devin today? He has decided to join me on my quest. Actually, this is totally can be a period. He has decided to join me on my quest to save my mother. He feels because he feels that there's a greater evil stirring about in the world of Creed, and that my mother's capture may that saving my mother's capture may lead to some insights. That's what we'll start with. It just changes and morphs as we go through time. That's one thing that is true. World of Creed and my mother's capture may lead that my mother's saving. Yeah, saving would be better. May lead to some answers. Campstar, thank you so much for subscribing. Subscriber dance. Woo, 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 woo. 5 months streak. 5 whole months. We gotta do the 5 dance. 5 dance. 5 dance. 5 dance. 5 dance. 5 dance. Sweet. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. It's been fun having you along the ride along for the ride during this time. Let's see. I feel like last time I was celebrating my sub as well. What time is it? I know. I feel like you just barely had your 4th, but I guess a month just goes by that fast. It's just crazy fast. I'm scared that time's gonna go by a little too insane, but it's okay. I don't know what these 2 are, so we can move them. There we go. So. Start documenting. Let's see. I have to share pics with you. I was at Disney Springs and saw their Lego display. Oh, that's legit. The best place to probably share it. I know I'm like plugging to join the Discord, but to share it on the Discord. So that would probably be ultimately, I think, the best place because that's what it's for. Synthetic Tree Leaf joined, but redeemed word of the day. Word of the day calls for some water. But first, wait, what? I preemptively drank your water if you're going to redeem water. Just saying. Don't worry. I know what you got in store. Gotcha. So yeah, I already drunk it. Let's see. I'm such an amateur. I don't think I'm in the Discord. But let's see. I think maybe it did join. If your name in Discord is KathK86, then you have joined. Yeah, Discord's so weird for when you are using it. Okay, I'll have the 3 more. Don't worry. We'll drink it. Let's see. Hello, Mitten. I gotta see a cat by the church I go to. Oh, there's a cat over there? That's cool. We're almost out of water, so who knows how much longer this water supply is going to last. If it's out, then we're done. Let's see, I'm fixing my nickname in there. Okay, cool. Because, yeah, Chemster, we got to have that be your nickname. Story you were saying? Intrigued. Yes, we are writing a story. It's going to be... Yeah, we got lots. But then also, that's what... And he's just so cute. She's very nice. Loves pets. Oh, that's great. I like nice cats. Those mean cats. Cats that like to attack your socks like Pocket does. I'm not the most fond of, but maybe some people out there are. Okay, Mitten. Mitten has officially added to our story. He thinks it will help in or I know Mitten is the best helper in writing. Okay, Mitten. Just don't look. Don't look. We're just writing. Yep. What's the name of the city? Wait, it was different. There you go. Words of wisdom spoken by Mitten. And because it's a noun, it's a city, it's capital. Remember that, folks. This is English class right here. Mitten taught it to me, so we're gonna listen to the wise Mitten. He thinks it will help in... he thinks it will help many things. First off, documenting our travels. I don't know. It thinks it will help with something. So, it has also advised me to start documenting our journey. He thinks it will help. So, let me catch you. Mitten, I'm not even attacking you. What's the matter? She's just like scared. Something. But now it's the word of the day time, processing. Wait, is that the word of the day? Is processing? Because that's a silly word of the day. Just kidding. If it really is, and I can use it, but. Oh man, you were outside. So I'm glad you came inside. Catch it. There you go. Alright, syndicate. Actually, I've heard the word syndicate, but I don't know what it means. So that is good. A group of individuals or organized, combined to promote some common interest. A syndicate. So thus you're saying syndicate... Well, it's a noun. So we would be a syndicate. So we're a syndicate. Wow. Syndicate. We are a syndicate of Legos. Group of individuals are organized, combined to promote some common interest. I think that works. A syndicate. So I think we have some thing. We could probably use these word of the day in the story. And like we'll start use it. It's just good to write down. So okay, bye Mitten. Anyways. Sin. So sin de. Whoa, Mitten, you turned on cap locks. Sin de. Syndicate. It refers to a common goal or motive, not as much interest as in Legos. Okay. So if we have a goal of spreading the joy of Legos around, we would be a syndicate. But not the Legos themselves, I think. Yeah. Thank you for your help, feline friend. Yes, thank you, Mitten. She'll be back sometime, I guess. Alrighty, so syndicate. Oh, hi, Mitten. She launched herself up onto here to sit down and enjoy some scenery. Okay, so the syndicate. We could say there's a syndicate. Would a syndicate tribe be too redundant? There's the syndicate tribe. Or you'd say the syndicates of the syndicate of the village were just trying to think of the syndicates of the village were all trying to get me to come to their museum. How do you spell it? Oh yeah, it's E-U. You're gonna see how bad I am at writing, but this is gonna be cool because I'm gonna show you that no matter how bad you are at writing, you can make a good story. It may take a lot of revision, but you can get it published. That's the goal, is we're going to get this story published and out there. Because it's fun to write stories. I think the human race kind of thrives off of stories. Like, think of it. Stories have been around forever. There's been like the tribal, no, silly. Like the tribes all back in the medieval, not tribes in the back of medieval. I'm saying cavemen wrote these stories on the walls, and then there were, then just tales for word of mouth, and then plays. Stories have always been a thing. Writing, once written, were the stories. People live off of stories, and then even their books and stories are still so prevalent today, because what makes like a good movie? A good story. So everything, what makes anything cool is basically the story behind it. When you're talking to a friend, you want to hear the story of the day. Gossip is essentially a story. So stories are, yes, we are storytellers. You are so right, Synthetic Tree Leaf. And Fuzzbee, you used to write every day. I love word building and creating characters. It's fun. That's why I wanted to do it with all of you all. So it is definitely so cool. Basically, think abstract interest rather than common interest. Note how often more secretive word. Okay. So yeah, trying to get to me to come to their weird. Their weird-looking cave. That would probably be more accurate. Let's see. Sadly, you lost most of my personal motivation, but trying to get back into it. Yeah, like I was working on my story every day for a while. But it's been like a year since I've worked on it, so I'm like, I gotta get back into this and just do a little bit every once in a while. Just do it more commonly. Probably do like at least a little bit every day would probably be good. Yeah. Got your hydrate, don't worry. You heard Farmer Spence's voice far away. Yep. So I guess he has gotten home now. So he is here. Oh, well, then I need to find new words for you. Wait, what do you mean? The syndicate... Did I just use it too well? The syndicates of the village are trying to get me to come to their... creepy looking cave. I've heard that... yeah, let's see. Fuzzbee. Yeah, I've heard recently of a thing called Don't Break the Chain, which essentially just means start doing something one day and then don't break the chain. Amen. Makes sense. I would agree. Remember what I've told you already? I don't think we can use this word, the hippopotamus astrophobia, in our book because we could just throw it in. That would be fun. You know what could be fun is to just take... It's like those story dice. If you ever had those story dice, you just roll the stories happening, and you're basically given an image and have to make a story out of that. It'd be kind of cool to do that, but with the words of the day. That'd be interesting. Oh, archaeologist. Arcane. I remember arcane. Do you have a little list somewhere, or do you just remember what words? Just a document, and you're like, this is what I've made Filmer Tim learn. We can definitely use arcane in our book. That's for sure. Let me catch you. What was that? Oh, catch you up on my travels thus far. Travels would probably be what it is, yeah. Arcane would be a great one for the story involving magic, for sure. Exactly. So we're gonna add it. Arcane, so... Oh, what was it? Was it it was the nose, mouth, ear doctor. It was like, what? It's so random. When an ear and throat. That's what it was. Ear and throat. Otolaryngologist. Not gonna use that in the book either. I'm sorry. Just it won't happen because I could make it work. Just say I started feeling sick, so I had to go to the ornithologist when I arrived into the village. So yes, that would work. But what would be a good way to add his age? Because I want to say he's about 17. 17, 18, something like that. Maybe 18. Maybe he turns 18 in the story. But I don't know how important the birthday is. Just... I want him to be young, that he's still living with his mom. But I could even make him like 20 and taking care of his mom. Which could work too. Wow, then. I'm sorry. Just can't use every single word. It's okay. It's okay. I wish I could. I would if I could. 3 months ago, my mother and I were doing our daily routine of selling bread. At our local market, yeah. My 18th birthday is only that is a good way to write it. I like that. Or you could introduce like an age counter in the universe, like people get stamps for their age or something like that. You know, that's a good way to do it. Ooh, so we could do something like this is kind of good. This is an easy way to do it. So 3 months ago, my mother and I were doing our daily routine of selling bread and then preparing bread at our local market. Then preparing for the same market. Because then I could say he's like preparing for his birthday or preparing for the village. I could say preparing for the city celebration, and my birthday happens to be the same day. But I like that. We're gonna do something along those lines. Doing our daily routine of selling bread at the local market. There's a better word for very, especially very. I was thrilled for later that evening. So I was gonna have my 18th. Meaning I could become, well, it'd be something cool. He could become a knight. But the character, he's not someone that's typically, he likes being adventurous, but he doesn't want to become a knight. But I think then he can travel to more cities. 18th birthday. And once here in Creed, once we turn 18, how do I spell 18? Did it so right the first time. Once we turn 18, let's see. You have to check the heads out real quick. Okay, good. Yep, they're still adorable. Very good. Very good. That's a good idea. Check on them. I should probably do that right too. Well, hello, and welcome to our stream of writing. We're doing still creativity things, like we do Legos, that's creative, but we also are doing story writing, which is creative. We just like being creative. Creativity, boom, boom. Creativity, boom, boom. What is this? The file is saying, yeah, don't care about that. Who cares about that? I also drink water here. You are right. That is very true. Speaking of which, I need to drink more water. I'll take this upstairs because it's almost empty. We also need to get our 400th follower. We're at 399. So it's probably going to happen in between streams because somehow it seems like 3 people end up following in between every stream. So that's cool. But they don't ever really show up. There was one time someone showed up and they're like, you know, I have no idea why I'm following you now, or how I started following you, but this is cool. I vibe with Legos. So we take that. Delete files, remove everywhere. I don't know. Here in Creed, once we turn 18, we receive a token giving us access to enter the kingdom of entering the capital capital of Creed. Kingdom of we did. Let's see. Synthetic Tree says we tricked him into drinking water without someone redeeming nitrate. You are right. You got me. I don't care about you. You can stay away. Capital. It's not a capital because a capital is a capital letter. Capital is a capital. Sorry, I'm just emphasizing it for my own memorization. Give us access to the capital of Creed. Urgathar. What's a good name? Because I did not think... Currently, the capital is called the Kingdom of Men. But that's kind of just overall the kingdom. But so that doesn't make sense. Entering the capital of Creed. This is where we get it right that we must travel to Kijiji. So the capital of Creed. They're just going to... If someone's reading this, they're going to think there's some typo. Because there's no vowel. Man, you forgot a vowel. So you got to Kij. Kij. Capital of Creed. Kij. That does not flow. We also got a suggestion of the capital of Creed. Sejoust. That does not look. Anyways, I'm tired. No typo with the works of the great Mitten. You are right. And good night, the synthetic tree leaf. We will leave Mitten's excellent work in here. Kij. The capital of Kij. Sij. Bidge. Kij. Kij is kind of cool because we get some alliteration doing that. The capital of Creed. Kij. But I'm gonna do 1J. Man, don't feel bad. Kija. Capital. But that almost feels too. It feels like it's more Asian. Kija. It would be like said Kija. Capital of Creed. Kija. I want Kij is better. Capital of Creed. Kij. Or Kig. The sage says J, like in jump. Kij. Kij is kind of cool. So Mitten, that may be it. But then later there's gonna be the like evil overlords gonna say we've taken over Kij. It works, but the name's probably gonna get revised. Mitten making a solid contribution. I know. We gotta have like at the end of the book why Kij, the city of Kij, or the capital Kij. Capital Kij. That just sounds kind of cool, but kind of weird. Capital Kij. Capital Kidge. Ming, good job. Yeah, you're a good story writer. You should write the rest of it for us, please. In the middle of the ceremony. Let's see. I was thrilled for later that evening because I was going to have my 18th birthday here in Creed. Once we turn 18, we receive a token giving us access to enter the capital of Creed, Kidge. We were going to take the week-long travel to visit Kidge. To visit Kidge the next day. Or leave the next day. To visit Kidge the following week. In the middle of my ceremony, in the middle of my, what's like it's a word for a ceremony, but less formal in a way. It's just when he receives his token, giving him access to the capital. So we take the week-long travel. We were gonna take the week-long travel. Oh, week-long has a dash. Take the week-long trip. Yeah, trip. To visit Kidge the following week. In the middle of computer's being weird, so I'm gonna have to go off. But keep it up. Might be back. Well, we're probably gonna end pretty soon because I only had a little bit of time to stream today. But thank you so much, Kempster, for joining us thus far. And I want to do some more of the story writing. This has been enjoyable to stream. I've enjoyed it. So far, it hasn't been that bad. I like it. In the middle of my ceremony, we'll just say ceremony. My home village, my home city, my hometown. It's a village. My home village of Ethereal. My home village in the suburbs. Let's see, need to refresh. I know, yeah, Twitch is doing a little bit some funny thing with my emotes too, but what can I do? I can't refresh. I don't think. But that's good. You do what needs to be done in the middle of my ceremony. In the middle of my token ceremony. See, I don't like the double my. In the middle of my token ceremony, my home village. In the middle of my token ceremony, our village of Ethereal was raided by a new kind of evil wizard. Called the Zentai Wizards. I should refresh the stream. Okay, I'll do it, but I don't have enough time to do that. Too busy writing. They burned. They set fire to everything I've come to love. And most of all, they took who I loved most, my mother. See, I need to write this like it's a journal. I gotta give it a very distinct voice to it. And it's because the easiest way to give it its own personal voice is to kind of give it my personal voice. Give the character my voice. Yeah. That's probably how it'll end up working. Because then later we can get more advanced where I'm having to envelop a different character and tell it from their voice. That's where it gets hard. And that's what you see in like the most greatest authors is they do a very good job at their voices in their stories. They set fire to everything I love. Everything I loved. They set fire to everything I loved, and most of all they took who I loved most, my mother. They came so fast, and we She didn't even deserve that fire. I know, not mom. That's what makes it so heart-wrenching. Because we gotta draw people in the first 2 paragraphs. Because look, this is the beginning of the story. Very first. The one thing I'm loving about doing this first person is the hook is so much better. Like, by reading these first 2 paragraphs above what I already written out, my other first 2 paragraphs, it catches you so much more. Yeah, I can't say I've never done that to a loved character. But, ooh. They set fire to everything I love, and most of all, they took who I loved most, my mother. Because I'm saying that they kidnapped her But maybe... That would be cool. Okay. So one of the things is Jade. He is in this world called a guardian, but he doesn't know it yet. And one of the guardian powers is they have resistance to fire. So what I need to do is he's able to save his mother from the fire because somehow he's just kind of rushes into the burning building or whatever, something like that. Or his mother's on fire and he saves his mother. So she's saved and they're like, okay, it's all good. But then they come and the wizards kidnap her. And take her away. And Jade starts chasing them down, but the wizards are just extra fast. That would be good. I like that. Yeah, we're going to do that for our story. Set fire to everything I loved, and most of all they took who I loved most, my mother. But, and most of all, that's pretty powerful. But they set fire to everything I'd love. They set fire to everything loved. And most of all, took who I loved most, my mother. She, with flames flaring. Charged through the midst. Charged through the fire. All right, let's read what I have written. Good night. All righty. Yes, good night, Afterpon. And I'm actually going to end it right after we just read what I wrote. They set fire to everything I loved. And most of all, took who I loved the most, my mother. It's like I need to do a period exclamation point. With flames flaring around. With flames flaring, I like the alliteration here as well. With flames flaring around and burnt debris falling. My mother, I should just say mother. He doesn't have to say mother. Mother and I became separated by a firestorm. By a wall of fire. A wall of fire. She became trapped. She became trapped. She became trapped. Came trapped. Trapped in. Trapped and trapped in a circle. In a circle. Became trapped. She became trapped, igniting her on fire. Without thinking, I charged through the fire, grabbing my mom and taking her to the pond. Thus, say. Now taking her and grabbing my mom and taking her to the pond. The taking her to the pond is this week. And placed and I charged through the fire, grabbing my mom from the fire to the nearby pond. Amazingly, the fire did no harm. The fire did no harm. I later found out it's because of my guardian powers, but I will get into that later. we were, well, sitting in the pond, quenching in the pond, quenching, I'll just say quenching in the pond. We were soon seized upon by the wizards. How do I always forget to do the R? It came so fast with an army with yeah. So, okay. I just gonna take in, I want to see how my, even though I was saying I want to wrap up, I want to see how my old style was, just the first 2 paragraphs of my old style versus my first 2 of this. Maybe this is 1. So my old one goes like this. In the world of Creed is an amazing place. Creed was created by the Deus gods, who are called Deocows. Okay, I'm not going to use that word anymore. Each world has its own Deocow, which is bad. It's just, I'm just going to make it easy. Gods. Own god. And Creed's god is Garruk, named Garruk. Garruk resides at the Grand Wall, where no one has ever passed the Grand Wall. It is mysterious to all Creedians, and has been through all ages. Garruk has dwelt in Creed since the first age of the animals. He ushered in the second age, thus creating beings and races of Creed. The elves, fairy, dwarves, men, giants, orcs, goblins, and many more. Garruk was there to keep the world in line, but even with his great powers, Creedians still had their own power and desires to govern themselves. The third age passed with the rise and fall of the elves. At the beginning of the fourth age, a great evil was discovered, creating the reign of magic. Those of any race who sought out evil and learned the ways became an evil wizard or witch. Evil spread through the land. The men, elves, dwarves, and fairies joined together, and with great effort they fought the evil. The greatest war in the history of Creed was unleashed. The evil was destroyed and magic lost. With the evil no longer in Creed, the men of Earth were able to build up, progress, and enter the fifth age. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad for one of those summaries of putting you into building the world for you real quick. It's not that bad. So I'll probably refine this, get it written well. This is the rough draft, of course. And put that at the beginning or back of the book. This is probably a good back of the book. Maybe, I don't know. Somewhere. If nothing else, it puts it in my mind what the world is like. Then there's this style. I am Jade, son of Krem. This is my first night. This is my first night at Blunt Creek. I have traveled long and far searching for my mother, who was taken by the Zentide wizards months ago. Just today, soon before I arrived in Blunt, I met the wizard Devin. Honey, I'm home. Well, hello, friends. Good to have you here. We're actually doing our final little bit, and we're going to be wrapping up real soon. So, not too much happening. Just doing some reading. The ducks are out again. Well, sounds about right. Soon before I arrived in Blunt Creek, I met the wizard Devin. I met the Great Devin. I'm just going to say the Great Devin. I don't want to tie it to the wizards yet, because, yeah, that'll be good. Met the Great Devin. He He is known in my for. Oh, then I can write it for. And then he has decided to join me on my quest to save my mother because he feels there's a great evil. That there's a great evil stirring about in the world of Creed. And that my mother, and that saving my mother may lead to some answers. He has also advised me to start documenting our journey. So I do need to build up Devin's reputation just a little bit before. I know that. That auto mode check is ever since the last update. Let's see. Well, that's weird. Too bad. Sorry. Let me catch you up on my travels thus far. 3 months ago, my mother and I were doing our daily routine of selling bread at our local market. I was thrilled for later that evening because I was going to have my 18th birthday. Here in Creed, once we turn 18, we receive a token giving us access to enter the capital of Creed. Kij. Thanks to Mitten, that's the name. Kij. We were going to take the week-long trip to visit Kij the following week. Receiving a token is a big event, so of course the whole village is there to see it. In the middle of my token ceremony, our village of Ithrael was Our village, named Ithrael, was raided by a new kind of evil wizard called the Zentai Wizards. They set fire to everything I loved, and most of all, they took who I loved most, my mother. I don't know if I should say that yet. They set fire to everything I loved. With flames flaring around and burnt debris falling, Mother and I became separated by a wall of fire. She became trapped, igniting her on fire. Without thinking, I charged through the fire, grabbing my mom, taking her from the fire to the nearby pond. Amazingly, the fire did no harm. Amazingly, rushing through the fire did me no harm. No harm. I later found out it's because of the guardian powers, because of the guardian powers I possess. But I will get to that later. Quenching in the pond, we were soon seized upon by the wizards. They came so fast, with arcane blaring through their hands, and fists firing and just punching, and they grabbed in magic and flaring things. Anyways, this was actually way fun. More fun than I thought it would be. So, I want to keep writing. But I need to go do some exercise. Yeah, I'm 20 minutes after my stream that I was planning on doing. So, thank you everyone for joining thus far. And we'll see you all later. Bye.